Nice seated. We're going to start a meditative state. So I want everybody to look at me right in the eyes. My eyes are open. I just have these beautiful sunglasses on. So my eyes are open for you. You can feel free to find a nice comfortable seat, either with your crisscross applesauce, little natural ambiance, or you can have your legs nice and straight out if this is too harsh on the knees. Anything that's going to make you feel comfortable and that you can really just relax right now. So we're going to start by just deep inhales, deep exhales. We're going to start to let go. Closing our eyes. Removing our tongue from roof of mouth, relaxing our forehead and jaw. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Allow your thoughts to be just that, just thoughts. Nothing to absorb, just something to observe. No attachment to any one thing. Start to let everything go. Release any tension you have in the shoulders. And just let your breath travel to where it needs to be. Beautiful. As with every class, I have a little message for today. Any test from God is an important opportunity to marvel at your strength. Love it. Continue to connect to your breath. Let it travel wherever it needs to be. When you're ready, we're just going to start to bring some awareness back to our bodies, very gently opening our eyes, bring our hands to our knees, just settling back into our bodies in our nice meditative state. Now from here, we're going to simply straighten our legs out in front of us. And what we're going to do is cartwheel our hands to one side. For me, I'm starting on my left. You can start on your right. And we're going to actually bend our knees into that side. And we're going to walk our hands even further in front of us and walk off to the side. There's no official name for this. I like to call it the Little Mermaid. This is a nod to one of my yogis, one of my gurus. Just a nice little lower back stretch very early in the practice here. I may look a little, tight because, honey, showing a little skin today. It's become a little bit hot in Florida, which I'm not going to complain about. But listen, spring has sprung. And I need to get a little sun, guys. I've been working too hard. Connecting back to the breath. Still represent my bro. I got my little towel over there. It's all about the bro. Just let your collarbones open up even more. I'm counteracting some back squats right now. A little squat clean complex as well. Mama's been busy. Very gently, I'm going to walk my hands back. And I'm going to straighten out my legs and come back to center. Letting my joints settle again. It's supposed to be extremely restorative. So just let all of that little tissue go. Any tension you have, let your breath take care of it. Let it be organic. Hopefully like this tan I'm about to get. From here, we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So for me, I'm moving into my right side. Going to bend my knees to the right side. I can make minor adjustments, guys. I can scoot. You can do whatever feels good for your body. Planting my hands, broadening through those collarbones, and then simply shifting my weight and my hands a little bit behind me, looking out. Part of your world, people. Remember, on the rock. This is what that reference is to. Okay. If you're younger than a millennial, get into it. Okay, that's all I have to say. Get a second version. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Walking a little bit back towards those knees. Let's straighten everything out. And again, just letting everything kind of settle for a second. Very important. Just another little reminder to kind of allow ourselves to tell our bodies to let things go. So if there's any tightness anywhere, you feel really rigid, just give yourself permission mentally. Sometimes we just ask our body to relax. It will happen for us. Sometimes you need a good stretch, which is why you're here. All right, we're coming back to a nice tabletop. No cute way of getting there. We just want to make sure that our wrists are underneath our shoulders, knees under hips. Nice and stable here. I have to remember to really suck in now because I don't have as much cloth covering. From here, we're going to move into a nice child's pose. So we have a nice wide knee, toes touch behind us. And we're going to walk our hands forward, releasing that third eye space in front of us, right between the eyebrows. That's where we allow a little pressure. And something I've been introducing to is kind of rocking the head back and forth. It's, in yogi talk, it's about massaging the third eye space, center of intuition, as we always say. However, I just think it feels good too. So get into it, Maybe you'll be more intuitive once you're, done massaging your third eye. Get back to me on that. A great opportunity to connect to your breath. And even though this is a resting position, it still is active. We're allowing the breath to expand our spine so we can press our arms even a little bit more forward, our glutes even closer to our heels, really opening up that upper body, especially after 24.1. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're simply going to make little tents with our hands. So we're going to dig our fingertips into the mat and elevating our forearms off the mat. Just allows for a really good stretch for that shoulder girdle. Absolutely vital. A few more nice deep inhales, exhales here. Again, guys, if you want to follow along with any of my music or find a playlist to go along, I'm on Spotify. It's under Trish Reiter, Reiter, and there's a BroYoga symbol. You can get into this fabulous music that I love so much. From here, releasing your hands down, what we're going to do is shift our weight back and forth and actually rotate our forearms and wrists and even bring a little bit of weight to each side. This is just kind of, I really feel it underneath my scapula, my shoulder blades. And who doesn't need that for my sad little pull-ups? One day, guys, when you have to pull up all this ass, what am I going to do? My best. That's what I'm going to do. I have to pump it like I'm bringing a steam engine with me. My God. All right, coming back, meeting in center here, forehead down, take a breath. And we're going to go to some old classics here in child's pose of just simply walking off first to the right. I know we've been going back to center, place on a pose. We walk off to the opposite side. Another little opportunity for that side stretch. Now coming back to center, we're going to move into that tabletop again, kind of come off the hips here. So we're going to do a little bit of a 3-point stance when it comes, or 3-point concentration for cat-cow, which is not my favorite, I'll be honest with you. Not my favorite pose, but very important. So I'm going to tuck my toes first, and if it's comfortable, and I'm just going to simply fixate on my pelvis. So I'm going to tuck the tailbone under and flare those sits bones out. So everything else is going to just stay kind of stationary here, supported, and we're just focusing on that lumbar spine. Inhales, exhales. And now we're going to meet back in that neutral spine. From here, we're going to talk about the thoracic. So just around the scapula shoulder blades. And we've done, I don't know if you guys have ever done it like hanging from the rig, but it's just like a scap pull-up or even a scap push-up if you've ever done that. We're just going to floss those shoulder blades back and forth here. I know you all love when I use lingo. So, listen, I'm with it. I'm in the club, baby. Now from here, if it feels good for the neck, we're going to just let the head hang for a second. Mostly because it's self-serving to me, and I don't want, I'm going to get a good tan now, back of the neck. Very gently, I want to just give you a nice little shaking the head yes and no. Just decompressing any tension we're holding in the neck, traps. And now from here, we're going to look neutral again, and we're just going to tuck the toes, glute to heels for looking up for that cow tilt. Exhale, doming middle and upper back, cat tilt. Just moving through a few more times. Beautiful. I know we're moving a little slow today because guess what? I'm sore. That's why. Love you. All right, now back to tabletop. From here, we're going to move through these beautiful little arm circles. Really like just getting those shoulder sockets nice and warmed up. Moving in the same direction now in the next inhale, opposite. Beautiful. Let your knees go where they need to. The hands feel comfortable. Coming back, tabletop. We're going to move in the opposite arm. How you doing? Look back at it if you need to. Boom, boom. Opening up. Let your breath just travel. And let's move opposite. And now coming back to tabletop, I'm going to face you guys as we work on some obvious and necessary wrist stretches. Ooh. Excuse that. It's getting hot in here. Okay, so from here, we're going to bring the wrists together. So I'm going to kind of show you elevated first. So wrists together, making a beautiful little butterfly. We're going to plant the hands with the fingers flailing out like that. Wrists together, and we're simply elevating the heel of the palm and the thumbs. So exhale, release, inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Last one, hold it a little bit longer, really opening those forearms up and release it back down, tabletop. So for me today, I'm going, of course, to just bring the the wrist crease in, like a little push-up onto my mat. And I'm simply going to bend and flare out my elbows and straighten them. Beautiful. If you want to advance this, you can even bring the fingertips to the center of the palms as you move down and up. Last one. Beautiful. So we're going to come back to that tabletop one last time. And we're just going to do a nice regular schmegular shoulder stretch. So I'm going to start by bringing my right hand to center, raising it with my wrist, and I'm just going to thread the needle here. Nothing too complicated today. I'm going to elevate my lower body slightly just to give a little more pressure on that joint. If you want to keep this down, that's totally cool. If you want to even bring it out and plant the outside blade of the foot to the side and press, another great option. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Back of the head's on the ground. Getting a fresh little ray of sunshine in your face. Live. That's just maybe me. Bringing that knee underneath, pressing through that hand, opening up, tabletop. And now we're going to do the same thing, opposite side. You guys know what we're doing here. It's old hat. We're bringing left hand center, opening up again, threading the needle, opposite side. Again, I'm going to advance it slightly. Feel free to keep that knee underneath. Another option, planting it on the outside. You can even open up a little bit. Press. Do what you need to. Now from here, we're going to bring our legs back to that tabletop position, pressing through, opening up. And we're going to come back to tabletop one last time as we tuck our toes and bring ourselves into that downward facing dog. I like to bring some dynamic movement in our first little bit here so we can pedal our feet, pressing really fiercely, guys. Let's focus on the hands a little bit through the heel of the palm. You can grip the mat almost like a little spider hands. That's what we call them anyway. Really getting those fingertips. So if you can see your nail beds, they're a little white. Just a little bit of pressure. Pressing everything toward the heels. They don't have to touch yet. It's still very early in the practice. But just a little tip there for down dog. And just because, listen, a lot of stretching in the back body is necessary right now. So I'm just going to shorten my stance by bringing my feet a little closer to my hands and then even more severely pressing through those hands. I'm going to really need to breathe on this one. That is tight, baby. So tight. Listen, sometimes when we get these tight little bods, they come with tight little joints. You need to stretch. I'm very lucky that the majority of my clientele are so fabulous looking. Makes my job a lot easier. Looking forward now at my hands, I'm going to walk my feet out slightly, find a comfortable position as I walk my hands to meet my feet, bending my knees, and allowing my upper body to just shelf itself on those bent knees. I'm a little book on a bookcase. My head hangs low. Beautiful. Deep inhales, deep exhales, letting things go. Now slowly just bringing ourselves all the way back up. Letting our blood settle. Letting everything settle in mountain. Hands at prayer. Just let everything come back to stillness. Breathe in and out. Beautiful work, everybody. Now from here, I'm going to walk my hands right back out. Finding that nice high plank. I can always release my knees down if I need to. Scooping my heart through. for me. I'm going to keep my knees today. Bringing my scapula, my shoulder blades down, looking up for a nice little cobra, tucking my toes downward facing dog. Beautiful. And that's where I'm going to meet you.